Let's get busy working on ThinkCentral lesson 5.4, continuing to work on division. So if there's a roll of ribbon that's 1,780 inches long, and it takes 1 yard, which is equivalent to 36 inches, to wrap a gift, how many gifts can be wrapped? So we're going to divide 1,780 by 36. Remember, division is repeated subtraction. So I'm going to go ahead and do the place value section model here, but I'm going to use some place value blocks to help understand the problem. So what I've drawn place value blocks. This is my thousands right here, thousands block. This is my hundreds flats, and these are my 10 sticks. So you can see that there's no way I can make groups of 36 using some repeated subtraction if I only have one block here. So 1,000, I have 700s, I have 8 tens, and I have 0 1. So I need to regroup this 1,000 into hundreds. So 1,000 will equal 1,700. So I regroup that, and I'm not going to draw this, but if you had 1,700s, it would be 17 like that. Nevertheless, you still cannot make a group of 36 with 1,700s. So you have to regroup all of these and change those into tens. And you're going to end up with 178 tens. So here's 178 tens. Now I'm not going to draw 178 tens, but that'd be too much. But nevertheless, you get the idea. That's why I'm taking away groups of 36. So how many times will 36 go into 178? Well, here this is going to be 40 tens. So I can take away 36 one time from that 40 here, and I would end up, if I did that, I'd end up with 142 tens left, and I could keep repeatedly subtracting 36 from this to get down to 0. Or, in other words, you can also use multiplication as the inverse, and you can say, well, how many times is 36? 36 times what is going to be close to 178? That is division. Okay, so I'm going to say, well, I know that I'm going to estimate here. Okay, so 36, I could not divide thousands by 36. I could not divide hundreds by 36. Well, let's think about it. 36 is very close to 40. 40 will go into, look for compatible numbers. 40 will go into 178 approximately 4 times, because 4 times 40 is 160. 160. So I'm going to use 4 as my initial estimate. Now I multiply to see if I have an overestimate or underestimate. 4 times 6 is 24. And 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So the difference here turns out to be 34. So my estimate was appropriate. It wasn't. It was a good estimate. It wasn't under or over. So 4 times, bring down that 0 here. How many times will 36 go into 340? Well, I know that 10 times 36 is 360, so I'm going to have to use 9 as my estimate. 9 times 36. I get a difference. 9 times 36 is 324, and I subtract that, I get a difference of 16. So my remainder is 16. So I have a remainder of 16. So I can wrap only 49 gifts. I don't have enough wrapping paper because I need 36 inches. I don't have 16 inches left. So what do I do with that remainder? So I ignore it because I do not have enough ribbon to wrap another gift. So the answer is 49, and I ignore the remainder. There are 32 students in Miss Colby's class, and they're going to share 80 slices of pizza. How many slices will each student get? Well, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use multiplication to figure out my estimate. So 32 times 1 is 32. 32 times 2 is 64. And 32 times 3 will be 96. So I'm going to start off here. 32 does not go into 8 tens. You can't take out 32 from 8 tens. You have to regroup that into 80 ones, and it's going to go in 2 times. So each student's going to get 2 slices of pizza. 32 times 2 is 64, so that leaves 16 slices of pizza left over. Now, because they're pizza and kids love pizza, you're not going to get rid of that remainder. What you're going to do is you're going to convert that to a fraction. So it's going to be 2, and 16 30-seconds of a pizza, which 16 30-seconds is going to be simplified down to 1/2. So each student's going to get 2.5 slices of pizza. The 16 slices of pizza left over can be cut in half, and each student could get another half a slice of pizza. A bagel shop makes 152 bagels packed into 12 boxes, and any extra bagels will be for the workers of the bagel shop. So how many bagels will the workers get? So what we're looking for here is our answer to this problem is actually going to be the remainder. So we need to figure out how many extra bagels there are after they pack them into boxes. So what I'm going to start out doing is I'm going to say, okay, well, you could do this division-wise, but you can also use multiplication for this. So each box has 12, so there's 12. That would be 24, 36, 48, 60. Another 12 would be 72. You keep going like that and like that and like that. You keep adding 12 and 12, and anything left over will be for the workers. Now I'll use the division. So division is 152 divided by 12. Well, you cannot take 100 and cut it into 12, so you have to regroup that into 15 tens. You can make one group of 12 out of those 15 tens, and there will be 3 left over, and then you have 32 ones. So how many groups of 12 can you make out of 32 ones? You can make 2 groups. You'd have 24. So left over, you'd have 8 bagels. So the workers get the extra bagels, which are left over after dividing 152 into groups of 12. Don't be afraid to take your time and draw models of this to figure this out. You can do the shortcut method right here, but actually this is the actual better math, is to take your time and draw models taking away 12 from a total of 152. If markers cost 74 cents each and Pablo has $18.34, how many markers can he buy? So I've set up the problem here as a division problem. It can also be a multiplication problem. 74 times x will equal 18.34. What you have to realize here is these are cents, and this is cents here, and these are dollars here. So you need to change the cents. You need to make them both compatible. So if you change 74 cents into 74, and you change $18.34 into 1,834 cents, then you're dividing cents by cents, which makes sense. So how many times will 74 go into 1,834? Well, I know that 74 will not go. I can't make a group of 74 out of 1, and I can't make it out of 18. So how many groups can I make out of 74 out of 183 tens? And that would be 2. 2 times 74 would be 148, and I'd end up with a difference of 35, and I bring down that 4, so I have 354. How many groups of 74 can I make of that? Well, 5 times 7 would be 35, so I don't think 5 is going to be the right answer. I think there's going to be 4. 4 times 74 is going to equal 2. 28, 29. It's going to equal to, regroup that, 58. So he's going to be able to buy 24 markers with his money, and he'd have 58 cents left over in his pocket, but the answer should be 24. Armando needs quarters to ride the bus. He took $14.16 to the bank and asked to have how many quarters could he get for that $14.16. I'm going to go ahead and use a different strategy on this. I'm just going to add up 25 cents. How many times can I add up 25 cents before I get to $14.16? Well, I know that 25 cents and 25 cents and 25 cents and 25 cents is going to equal $1. So for every dollar, there are 4 quarters. So I'm going to multiply that times 14 here. So there's 4 times 14 equals what? 4 times 14 equals 56. So he should be able to get 56 quarters. So that's my using the inverse strategy, just adding on 25, 14 times, 25, 25, 25, 14 times. Now I'll use the division. Alright, so I need to find equivalent. This is cents over here, and this is dollars here, so I'm going to change these into 25 cents. I'm going to change this into 1,416 cents. Does not go in, does not go in. 25 goes in 141. I'm going to say 5 times. 5 times 25 is 125. I subtract those two, I get 16, bring down the 6, and it should be 6 times. 6 times 25 would be 150. So yes, there's 16 cents left over. So he should be able to get 56 quarters with 16 cents left over. So the answer would be 56. You ignore the remainder on this. Alright, so there's $255, and there are 12 friends, and they're going to share that money. So how many times can we take out groups of 12 out of 255? Well, it doesn't go into 200s. It does go into 25 tens 2 times. There's 1 left over. 12 goes into 15 ones 1 time, and there are 3 left over. So, what do you do with the extra money? Well, money you want to share, you can split that up. So what you do is you change that $3 into cents, and you divide that out. So 12 goes into 30. Go ahead and put your decimal point there. 12 goes into 32 times. 24. 6 left over. 12 goes into 65 times. So each person will get $21.25. So what do we do with the remainder? Well, we use the remainder and we wrote a fraction, but that fraction is dollars. We do not want to throw away money, so it's you change it into 25 hundredths, which is $21.25. Alright, that's the end of our lesson. Keep studying. It takes a lot of practice to do this. I suggest you draw models and do repeated subtraction, even though it takes a little bit longer than the division. It actually makes more sense mathematically, so you can see what division is. Division is repeated subtraction.